We are once again live. It's Friday.
Yay!
We do this every Tuesday and Friday at about this time. In fact, exactly this time, 1300 Pacific, 2000 UTC. This time of year is Emmett, Bannerow, Fury are the first ones to check in. Pedro Foiling Sailor, where it's early in the morning down in Sydney, 0700. And we have a special guest standing by in Bermuda. We're getting him hooked up. He's just in off the water. Our longtime friend and super Fozy by now, James Pleasance. Julia, I trust you are well.
I am.
Any hot tips?
I don't know how James does it, but he looks always healthy and wonderful.
He does indeed. Welcome to our show number 877. That is your co-host and coordinating producer and Commodore of the Beach Street Yacht Club. I am your host. We could probably put our logos on at the bottom there. Tom Eamon is my name, representing ostensibly the Balboa Yacht Club, even though I'm a proud member of the club just about 3 blocks from us in Julia's club, St. Francis Yacht Club. Hamish Ross checking in. The band of brothers and sisters, meaning the Fozy around the planet. Phil Yeoman's also in Sydney. You got a summer nor'easter today. Bill Haynes, William D. Haynes, in northern Texas normally. We've got a submission from Bill Haynes today. Okay. Alan Long is, it's chilly. It's only 47 Fahrenheit in northeastern Ohio. Mr. President Emeritus Alistair Murray down under, only with you for a short time, then he's off for his Saturday morning bike ride. We're at Saturday morning down there. Welcome, everybody, to our show number 877. We've got James Pleasance going to join us when we get a good internet connection. He is at the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, Julia.
Yes, looking terrific.
Well, that's a still shot because, now we got him back.
That's a still shot.
That's still a still shot. I got to do a little bit of work here to get him clicked in. I'll do that during the videos, but let's carry on here. We do have James, and we'll get to him in a few minutes as he is our special guest talking about not only the World Match Racing Tour and the World Women's Match Racing Tour, but also particularly, especially the Gold Cup and the Aspen Bermuda Cup, which is the women's event going on as we speak. It wraps up tomorrow and Sunday in Hamilton at the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club in, of course, Bermuda. Happy Friday, Julia.
Yes, indeed.
And happy World Sparkling Ruse Day. You know what that is? It's a world day. Maybe more than one.
I'm sure I'm going to learn about it.
Tuesday follow-ups. A lot of angst over the ACP. A lot of kudos for our 6-point plan from Tuesday's show. Some follow-up from Alistair Murray and others on the Sydney Opera House that we featured in This Day in History on Tuesday. And then KR, we get some news about Paul. Featured today, our WMRT Executive Director, Fozy, and friend of longstanding James Pleasance, who lives in London. And he is live from the Bermuda Gold Cup in Bermuda, as we mentioned a minute ago. Bravo Zulu to Baltazar, their overall win in the Rolex Middle Sea Race. And Matt Weirn, some good news about Matty Weirn, the Australian double gold medalist, and we'll tell you about that as well. Coaching corner, John Emmett is focused as a joke because his video is a bit out of focus, at least on him. The background's in terrific focus, Julia. And he's in a mad dash getting from one place to another, so we didn't worry about it. But his audio is perfect and very interesting as usual. Focus on yachts and formats. The coaching corner, John Emmett. A special This Day in History. Today, the 24th of October, 1887.
Okay.
And the little-known Commodore, lawyer, author.
From 1887?
From 1887. We're going to be featuring him. Alistair Murray's in with his part 2 from Tuesday's AAAA, his awesome Aussie anecdote. And then, of course, the last leg. We are going to feature the Sunday start of the rebranded, it used to be called the Transat Jacques Vabre, the coffee company, and they're now featuring another one of their brands, Café L'Or. And we're also going to feature a first-time entrant who is an Italian living in Park City, Utah, here in the States, Francesca Klapsich. Nice little video or two about her. And, of course, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Winners of the week. I'm not going to do a croutons of the week.
Okay.
You know, I'm just feeling very upbeat and positive about everything in the sport. Of course, the market's way up. You must be happy about that.
I know, it's incredible.
The markets have had a great week. And of course, our fantastic Fozy and more, who are indeed checking in from around the world. Christian Price, hello from Sydney. Larry Kennedy in the FIDI, the Financial District in New York City. Andrew Dolly Devola saying good morning from Sydney. Emmett, he is good at keeping still. Well, it's the stillness is his internet connection, which he has fixed now, and I'm going to get him sorted in a moment here at my end. Good evening from Denmark. Gordon Smith says it's blowing half a pelican this evening, which is, he said in a note to all of the Super Fozy a minute ago that, you know what a half a pelican is, Julia?
No.
Apparently it's like 20 knots, something like that. So it's
A pelly.
a half a pelican. Did I get that right, Gordon? I just quickly glanced at your notes. Clay Embley, good evening, greetings. Good afternoon. He's enjoying Sailing Illustrated while sailing his boat from Annapolis to Charleston down the coast, the east coast of the U.S. And Pedro Foiling Sailor, a.k.a. Peter Stevenson, down in Sydney, just talking to Dolly Devola. Good to have you back home, Dolly. Congratulations on your recent result. And he, of course, got a great result at the Windsurfer Worlds. Or the Masters World. Kangaroos with glitter? Maybe, Alan Long. John Emmett says his video camera thought the yachts were more important, which is probably correct when you see his video. Fritz Mueller says it's windy in Miami. Ted Ryman checking in from Cape Town. Andrew Pindar, who fed us a picture, he's at the start of this race.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, over in Le Havre in Normandy. Glad to report that not only is James alive in Bermuda, but so are we on board with Ian Williams, Jerry, Richard, and John. He's sponsoring that team, and they're back in Bermuda after missing it last year, Ian Williams, that is. Mm-hmm. Rick Bannerow asked James P. if the Gold Cup is actually gold or just gold-plated. There's a lot of conflicting info out there on that, and who gave the Women's Gold Cup. Greg Norman. Hello, Greg, checking in from Hawaii, of all places.
Nice.
That gets us. And, of course, our feature again today is the esteemed James Pleasance, Executive Director of the World Match Racing Tour and the World Women's Tour. Live from the Bermuda Gold Cup in a minute. We'll get to that. But first, catching up from follow-ups from Tuesday's show. The historic moment in global sailing announced last week about this so-called ACP, America's Cup Partnership Agreement, and there has been a lot of discussion about that, not only on our show here, but in social media and beyond. America's Cup 38, Mr. Dalton and Coase announced that in a landmark moment for the sport of sailing, the America's Cup, sport's oldest international trophy, having been contested since 1851, has entered a new era of mutual governance. Now, Julia, this has not gotten rave reviews. In fact, it has been widely, as I reported Tuesday, it's been widely panned, not just by us, but by lots of people. And in fact, the video, I'm not going to run it again today. Matt Sheehan, though, did an interview with Sir Ben.
Oh, yeah.
And with Sir Ben Ainsley and also with Grant Dalton. They were on a Zoom thing. Right. And honest to God, neither of them seem convinced that this is going to work. They just think they've got to do it to, quote, save the cup.
Yes.
And, of course, the cup doesn't need saving. It just needs a bit of a rescue plan, which we presented as well on Tuesday, to great kudos. I mean, to great acclaim.
Oh,
simple, clean, straightforward. I'll summarize that here in a moment. But in the meantime, even Matt Sheehan, he's published a shorty video, which I'll now play. Mm-hmm. And, well, just listen to it to get his take, apparently, on what he thinks is going on.
Is that even with a binding document for AC38, delivering the long-term goals is going to be very difficult to do. You can be sure that there'll be plenty of fierce opponents to this idea, and they're not going to hold back. They're going to say that the cup as we know it has been destroyed, that 174 years of development and history has been scrubbed in favour of commercialising a cup that was specifically set up so that it could never be owned. Mm-hmm. They'll say that it's akin to selling the crown jewels of sailing and that it's now just another Sailing World Championships. And then, if they think they're not being heard, they'll probably get quite bitchy.
Matt Sheehan from Great Britain, he does the good job on his YouTube channel, Planet Sail. And he's spot on.
Yeah.
And people are getting bitchy. Not only us, I think we've been pretty good-natured about it. I mean, it would be bitchy. I mean, it would be hilarious if it weren't so sad for the Cup and for the sport with what they're trying to pull off. It's way too complex, way too complicated, Julia.
Yes.
And people are getting bitchy about it and saying, what's the point? And we'll see. And there's, by the way, one hears there has been a massive pressure campaign from Sir Ben and from Mr. Dalton to try to get the Swiss, Alinghi, SNG, Society Nautique Genève, and Ernesto Bertarelli, and the New York Yacht Club briefings, arm twisting to try to get them to come into the Cup because, entries are closing here in 6 days. As far as we know, only the Italians, Luna Rossa, have entered, and the Brits, and maybe the French. But what is really ridiculous about this thing is and a couple of people have posted about it since our show on Tuesday, and it was a point I did not make on Tuesday, which is a good one, I think, is that for the first time in the 170, whatever it is, year history of the Cup, 174-year history, they are not only not going to have new boats, they are prohibiting new boats. You got to use old boats in the Cup. It's crotonic beyond belief. I mean, it's absurd. It's asinine, Julia.
Saving money.
Well, if you're having to save money, if you can't get teams to come in and enter the thing, you got problems. Yeah. And I think Matt Sheehan and a lot of other people are starting to figure that out. Ted Ryman says, 10 out of 10, Matt. Well done. Yeah. Tom is pretty fierce when he wants to be. Not really. I'm just a simple country boy from Michigan.
Yes.
Hamish Ross down in New Zealand. The only Cup saving needed is from Dalton. Gosh.
I think that's probably true. Gosh
darn. And the comments are against ACP are running, I don't know, I said 80-20. It's probably more like 90-10 against. Gordon Smith, Matt is an excellent journalist. For those who have not watched or read his work, I suggest you give him a go. Knowledgeable and erudite. Totally agree, Gordon Smith. Good point. Bill Wingrove down in, normally in Tampa, Florida, they want the former holders to try and add legitimacy to this Scheisse show. Didn't spell Scheisse right, Julia.
That's never mind.
But it was close enough. The word Scheisse in German because your late husband was German.
Yes.
We won't repeat what it really means in English. I think people know. They want the former the next Cup will be in Dragon Force 90, DF-95, the radio-controlled yacht. Well, it's pretty close.
Yes.
5 sailors and radio-controlled, the whack-a-mole people popping up. You don't even see them, tops of their helmets. They pop up. Oh, there's a sailor in there. Oh, maybe more. All battery-powered.
Only battery-powered.
Only battery-powered. Exactly right. Ed Worley saying, how can a new sail, an old yacht not built in the country of the Channel? Yeah, right. It's a Travisha mockery. What's that? Jeff Ogle. It's it sounds Hawaiian almost. It is because Ben does not have a boat, but is hoping to get it back somehow. That is Andrew McIrvin, who's a member of the squadron, the Royal Yacht Squadron. He knows more about what's going on, perhaps, than even I. But, of course, he is mum's the word. He's very discreet, but he is well informed, and he won't tell me a darn thing, but he really knows what.
And he knows why.
And he knows why. J. Frederick Bland, I hope you're on the road to recovery. He's had a tough go health-wise, but he seems to be coming through it.
That's great.
If you have to ask how much, you can't afford it. The famous.
That's true.
Back in the early 1900s. New teams can build a new boat based on a design from the last Cup. Right. Chris, actually, right. Steve Gruber replying to Dolly, how am I going to spend 75 million euros on a Dragon Force 95 on a radio-controlled yacht? There are going to be so many coaches. 75 mil being the budget cap. Bill Wingrove asking, remember the stink over having the crews all below in the 12, starting with Intrepid? Well, yeah, and that didn't last very long because everybody hated being down below in the sewer. It was more than the sewer. And the 12-meter rules quickly got changed to say that everybody had to be above deck except doing work temporarily down below, like retrieving, gathering in the kite, bringing the spinnaker down. And look at all these comments. My microphone has changed color. No, I have a blue Sailing Illustrated blue cap, and I've been on this color for a while, John. The black's just simpler and easier. We don't want the color of the mic to distract from the beauty of the host.
Right.
Of the host here. Actually, we probably should do everything we can to distract from the face that's great for radio. If a new team challenged today, how long would it take to get all the mandatory, as the Brits would say, the mandatory purchased components from TNC and Grant Thornton? The second-hand pinnacle of, nice one, Chris Fury, the second-hand pinnacle of this sport. Oh, my goodness, my gracious. So, it's actually funny. I can't see how this is going to work, or if it's going to work, it's not going to work for more than one time. As you saw Matt Sheehan say, there's nothing, and I've talked again with deed experts such as Hamish Ross and others, that, again, if someone else wins it, even if they have signed some contract, some piece of paper coming into and then out of AC 38, there's nothing that compels a new trustee, someone who has won the cup, that has taken it over. There's nothing that compels them to follow this program, this AC 38 program. Right. It's happened before. And the irony is, of course, that Russell Coutts and others tried to do such a deal for 2017 in Bermuda, that cup. And you know what team wouldn't sign it, refused to sign such a deal?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. The ACP shares are at risk if a trade team goes bust and cannot meet its liabilities. Man, oh man, they're flowing in here. And isn't the intrigue part of it, Andrew McIrvin? Yes, it is. Good point, Andrew Pindar. And let's carry on and just review what I said on Tuesday's show number 876, and we talk about a simple 6-point plan. I'm not going to go through the plan again. It was simple, though it was, and it is. Here's a summary. Keep the AC rare, like the Olympics and the FIFA World Cup. Do it every 3 years, every 4 years. I said do it in odd years so it doesn't conflict. But you'll agree by mutual consent. And as was done during the golden era in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was done every 3 or 4 years, and it worked just fine. Stop trying to make the AC into Sail GP. Let alone F1. Ours is a beautiful niche sport, and this is a beautiful niche event, although the pinnacle event, that will never, ever have mass appeal. We're not going to get F1 audiences. We're not going to get NBA audience, with or without the gambling scandal that we've got going on as of yesterday in the NBA. We're not going to have that kind of viewership. People don't relate to sailing a boat. Driving a car, yes. Sailing a boat, those of us who are sailors should be the target audience. They ought to go after sailors. And we have pissed off and pissed away, excuse my language, the sailing community. You go into St. Francis Yacht Club, you go into your club, and somebody will say, hey, what's going on with the America's Cup? And then they say, you know what, I don't care, before you can even answer. And that'll happen to me tonight when we're having our 25th anniversary tonight of the America One Syndicate. The team members, all the worker bees, are meeting over at St. Francis at 7 o'clock, 1900. Yep. Somebody's put it together, not I, and it'll be a nice little gathering of that group from 25 years ago when we got to the finals in Auckland of the LVC, and then lost in that thrilling competition, that thrilling match against Luna Rosa. It was a fabulous LVC final, and of course Luna Rosa went on and got their butts handed to them by the Kiwis in the match. That's my simple summary of my simple plan. So that's a recap of the main points from Tuesday, except I must say that this got a lot of ink as well. We celebrated on Tuesday the 52nd anniversary of the opening of the Sydney Opera House at Bennelong Point in Sydney after 14 years of construction. And after the show, I heard from Alistair, who had made a point during the show, Alistair Murray. He said, "Good day, all. I enjoyed today's discussion on the show about the Sydney Opera House, but I was wrong about it costing 10 times the original budget. Final cost was he did the research, checked on him, checked his own facts. Final cost was $102 million versus a budget of $7 million. So it was 15 times, not 10 times, 15 times the budget. He says, nonetheless, worth every penny, every cent.
Yeah.
Notice I'm putting when it's a FOSI that's made a submission, Julia, you see, I made it blue.
Oh, that's nice.
I made it water. So if you see a blue one there in the upper left corner, I was going to make it Claire Harrington green since she's the one that picked the color of our telestrator color. Remember that? But I made it blue. So if you see a blue one instead of an orange one, you know it is a submission from a FOSI. We appreciate it. Hamish Ross says the Danish architect was fired. That's not Hamish Ross. That's Paul Kayard. And just to follow up from Tuesday's show, Kayard, who gave a fabulous speech, as did Jimmy Spithill, at New York Yacht Club's 44th Street Clubhouse, where they were inducted into the America's Cup Hall of Fame, along with the Susan Henn posthumously, who died back around the turn of the last century, the first female to have played a major role in an America's Cup syndicate, Galatea. But Kayard gave a great speech. I've congratulated him, as have many, many other people. And he is coming on the show. He will be live with us on Tuesday, the 4th of November. That's a week from next Tuesday, Julia. Election Day.
I was going to say it's Election Day.
Or as the Japanese would say, Erection Day. You want to give me a finger wag, you can. Erection Day. That's an appropriate day to have Kayard on here, right? Oh, well, that was Paul. That was just. I'll hear about it tonight. I think he's going to be there tonight at
Probably.
the America One.
How can he not be there?
And so John Emmett is just saying that Jazz can do the 11th. I think that's good. I have a couple other guests teed up, but let's shoot for Jazz doing the 11th. John, if she can do that, that would be great. Will he have shaved by the stash rules? Will Kayard have shaved by then? I doubt it. He's got that Euro look. He's been wearing that Euro look for quite some time.
I know.
Okay, now Julia, what are we celebrating today besides having James on the show?
I'll be happy with
Bubbly
this.
Bubbly Roo Day.
Well,
I combined two. First of all, it's Global Champagne Day, and how can a drinking show with the sailing habit not celebrate Global Champagne Day, at least in passing?
right.
Bubbly, often used for celebrations with a touch of elegance and effervescence. It's the classic way to toast good times, Julia, right?
Yes.
So happy Global Champagne Day. Emmett knew it. He knew what was going on. Now, there's another day, though, that we got to get serious about celebrating.
Roo Day.
Roo Day. Today is in Australia, it's National Kangaroo Day, but it also happens to be World Kangaroo Day. Supporting marsupials in their natural habitat contributes to biodiversity, conservation efforts, maybe conversation efforts too, and preserving Australia's unique wildlife. Certainly one of Australia's most iconic and recognizable creatures. The roo comes in many shapes and sizes with an estimate, I had no idea, population of 500 million kangaroos living in the wild across the continent.
Oh, I didn't know that
500 million, Julia.
That's incredible.
It is important for humans to live harmoniously with these fascinating animals. World Kangaroo Day works to promote the care and protection of these animals as part of a larger effort to care for nature and the planet in sustainable, environmentally friendly ways. And here, Julia, is the video.
Hi, I'm Jason Dizzy Gillespie, Ambassador for World Kangaroo Day. This is Delaney Gillespie, and this is Barry, a western grey kangaroo that's been recently rescued. Kangaroos have lived on this great continent for over 20 million years. As a proud Kamilaroi man, I understand that the kangaroo is a sacred totem of all First Nations people. Playing cricket for Australia, I was very proud to be wearing a baggy green cap which featured the kangaroo embroidered on the front. We know tourists come from all over the world to see these iconic animals, but unfortunately we don't always treat them as well as we should. We need to learn to coexist with kangaroos. Please watch out for them when you are driving and don't support the sale of their skins or meat overseas. So much to learn from them, so much to appreciate. Happy World Kangaroo Day. Please go to worldkangarooday.org for more information.
Look at all these comments, Julia. If you're America, one party doesn't feature Montgomery's downwind play-by-play, it's not a party. Good point, Baton Rouge. That whole series, it was best. It was first to win 7, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about. I don't know if we're going to show videos. I'm not prepared to do any of that, but maybe somebody else has. We just shoot wallabies. They shoot them regularly in Australia. I don't know about that. Apparently they do, but there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Much of Australia's unique wildlife takes place in yacht clubs. Chris Feary, whose wife is Vice Commodore of the Royal Sandringham,
Yes.
right? The Sandringham Yacht Club. Our fabulous spring-loaded rat, Alistair Murray. They are good eating. Fritz Mueller in Miami says they're good eating. Is that
Really?
right? Is that right? Gordon Smith, kangaroos are not exactly a threatened species. Au contraire. This guy, I don't know him. I didn't even know his name, but you Aussies, I guess, would all know him. He was a famous cricketer,
Oh, he was.
I believe. He was a cricketer, and he's taken up, I think it was cricket, and he's taken up the cause of trying to save.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it, right,
Yeah.
Julia?
Mhm.
Oh, how nice. Okay, let's go to the Gold Cup now that we've got James standing patiently by in Bermuda. We always like to say that. And welcome, James, to the show. Now, try your mic again. We had it a minute ago.
Okay, it would help if I turn the mute off. How's that?
That is perfect, and you look great, and the Wi-Fi connection is better than when we had during just before we went to air.
Yes.
James is live from the world. He's executive director, we all know, of the World Match Racing Tour, and he's live from the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. Is that a green screen? Is that really what's behind you, James?
Well, no, it's not a green screen. It is the model room before they refurbished it. I think it's from last year, but I'm somewhere else in someone's office, so I'm treating you to the model room.
Well, you've done a great job. It looks quite realistic.
Well, actually, all those models are not on the walls. They're all in storage because they've just spent a lot of money doing it. The new model room looks great, but there aren't any models in it, so I didn't think I'd sit there. But they're all going back on the wall, so it'll look great when it's done, apparently.
James, talk us through these pictures. We didn't have a chance to look at them ahead of time, but you will know the trophy for that event that's going on down there, the 19th through the 26th, the Bermuda Gold Cup and the Aspen Bermuda Women's Match Racing Regatta.
Yeah, it's a long name for an event. It's the 70. Well, we're at the 73rd edition of the Bermuda Gold Cup this year, which is a good run, and the second year of the Aspen Bermuda Women's Match Racing Regatta. How's that for a title? Sponsored by Aspen, an insurance company who've also partnered with other women's projects in sailing, including Pip Hare, the offshore sailor, who was doing her race last year, and they've come back this year. So we have 8 all-female teams competing in that Aspen event. And the event, as it did last year, is running alongside the Gold Cup this week. So we've got 16 teams in total, 8 open teams, with a couple of ladies on the cruise as well, and then 8 all-female teams. And then it's a 6-day format, and it's a double round robin, straight to the semis, and then the finals, with the open sailing in the morning and the women in the afternoon, and then the following day the women in the morning and the open in the afternoon. And it's working. It's a good format. It works well, and everyone gets to go and enjoy the island and go cliff jumping and surfing and whatever it is. And the Bermuda tourism people are delighted with that. So the format seems to work well. So
it's Friday evening there at just a little before 6 p.m., a little before 1800. Is that right? We're 5:30. It's the boats just came off the water. We actually lost the breeze. We had a fairly fresh squall go through around lunchtime, and so it played with the weather a little bit. And then they sent them out again, did one flight, and then sent them all back in again. So now it's there's a press conference going on shortly, and then thanks to Goslings, who've returned as a sponsor, which we're all very happy about. Yeah, somebody said in the comments They said you can't be in Bermuda because he doesn't have a Goslings in his hand, dark and
Oh,
stormy.
I don't yet because they haven't arrived yet, but they're sponsoring some happy hour. They're sponsoring the happy hour, which starts in half an hour. So I'll be leaving on half.
Okay, let's press on. Let's press on here, or else we're going to lose you. We're gonna,
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
We're
let's press on. We've got the famously beautiful and hospitable Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, again, hosting this event. And it, this trophy, the King Edward the what, 7th?
King Edward the 7th.
That trophy was donated originally to a Canadian club, and it made its way to the States and now to Bermuda. So it's a well-traveled, prestigious trophy. And of course, that yacht club, which is famous for a lot of things, including the finish of the Newport Bermuda race every other year, but it's a famously good and fun, relaxed, elegant, upscale, yada, yada, yada yacht club, and there is a good look at it. James, you sent me some key points here. You want to take us through these key points about this year's events?
I didn't know you were going to publish those. Yeah, well, they were my sort of fast facts for the week, 73rd edition, as I said, and Johnny Berntsen from Sweden, who won the event consecutively the last 2 years, and going for his three-peat. Or as you say, three-peat in the States, or we say hat trick in UK. Which
we
would be
say hat trick in Canada, which is the birthplace of hockey. Is there a hat trick in other sports besides hockey, ice hockey?
Well, we use hat trick a lot, but I would say hat trick in football or soccer, but sure the viewers will chime in. So yeah, we've got Johnny looking for a back-to-back 3 consecutive wins, which would be very impressive. He just made the semi-finals, had an almighty collision this morning with Chris Poole, which I'm reliably informed is up on social media on the Instagram stories. It was a juicy T-bone with 2 IODs, and as you well know, those boats they're pretty heavy boats, so when you hit them at pace, so there was a fair amount of damage done. Let's just say I think Johnny Berntsen will not be going home with his damage deposit this month.
Equal prize money?
Yes, what else you got there? Yeah, and then it was actually something they nearly did last year, but this year it is 100% equal prize money, which is great. So there's a $100,000 purse for this week, and it's been split $50,000 between the Open and the women's event. So there's 8, and also the equal number of teams. So there's 8 Open and 8 women's teams. So that's a really good step for us, I believe, and something that we rolled out in Sweden this year in Marstrand, and I think something we'd see more of in the future.
Let me just take you through some of these pictures, because we're going to lose you here to it sounds like a cocktail party. You press. Okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm kidding. I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. Because this is great to have you on. You're on every 6 months or so. We had you on Congressional Cup. We had you on at the end of last year when you were in China, and you're going to make an announcement about that in a moment, I guess. But there are a couple of your top teams, the ladies' teams, Osling and Moritzen, sailing early, I guess yesterday. These are nice, Adam.
Yeah, these were all from yesterday and the day before. We've got Ian Roman on the pictures, and has been doing an amazing job. He's got some beautiful aerial shots as well, and he's going to kill me for saying it. That was one of his, and sadly we won't be having any more aerial shots from him this week due to an incident involving his drone and an IOD mainsail. And I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning it. So we have donated a drone to Hamilton Harbour this week.
Looks like socially it's been a fun event as well. Speaking of dark and stormies.
That's all the women's team. That's the Swedish Beyond Racing team, who are also sponsored by Pele P, who partner with us on the tour. So they are certainly one of the better dressed teams. They have a different outfit every day. So sailing teams out there, take note. Make the effort, and they look good.
Class act. Speaking of class acts, your defending champ is back, looking for the hat trick, the three-peat. And tell us about these guys, Johnny Berntsen.
Yeah, I'm not going to go through all their names because I won't be able to pronounce them, and I always get them muddled up. But he's it's the same team as he had last year. These guys have been sailing together for years, and he's just got a rhythm in these boats. He didn't start too well this week, and then he had the collision today, which was not ideal. But he's clawed through to the semis, and he's just got a feel for these boats, and the crew work really well. And the conditions have been quite light. We had a bit of a storm come through, and hopefully it's going to clear out a bit this weekend. But he's been doing well, and certainly on track for his third. And Ian Williams, well known to you and the tour, now 8-time world champion. I think, as Andrew put on your comments earlier, proudly sponsored by the Pindar by Manuport Logistics team, which is also the longest sponsor name you'll find in the sport at the moment. And they also have some great support from our mutual friend, Mr. Sangmeister in Gladstone's restaurant in Long Beach, hence the logo on their shirts. So
I was going to say,
great to have.
I think I need to
back.
hit Andrew Pindar, who's watching, one of our super pros. I got to hit him up, Julia, for a new mug. It's only got Pindar on it instead of that long name of. He's renamed the company, or he's joined up with another company, right? But I have it right there in the back. You know who else is back there? The other Andrew, Julia.
yes.
That's McIrvin's mug, coffee mug. That's his boat, GBR 42 North, 42N. Yeah, Sangmeister's proud of him as well, and they should be, because it's nice. He did not race last year, is that right?
Yeah, he. I actually don't remember why it was. I think he's been doing some coaching with some of the Sail GP teams, and that's taken him away a bit. He also moved to, I think he's living in South Africa now. His wife is from there. And so he had a busy year last year, and I think scheduling as such, he was not able to make it. So, and these guys, Jerry Mitchell standing next to Ian, Richard Sydenham, and John Gunderson, well known to the sailing world. These guys have been sailing for forever and a day, and they're great friends, and they've won this event here before. Well, Ian's won it twice before, so, and they're through to the semi-finals as well today. So with him. So you've got Ian Williams, Johnny Berntsen, Eric Monin from Switzerland, who won the Congressional Cup earlier this year, and Chris Poole as well. So usual suspects at the top of the tree.
Well, Ian Williams was also the rules coach for Sir Ben's America's Cup team, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
in Barcelona. He talked about a busy boy.
I think that may have even been the reason he wasn't there last year. I forget exactly. I think it was because the end of the he was in Barcelona with Ben's Ineos team, and I think although there was some lay days or extra days for the Cup, they ran very close to what would have been the Gold Cup. So if they'd have had to use all the spare days, I don't think he'd have been able to make it over here. So he took a pass last year. But yes, was busy in Barcelona. But he's, I think sailing these IODs for these guys is like, riding a bike for these guys. They've jumped right. But again, it took him a day or two to get back in the swing. He came in quite late on a flight and just jumped straight in the boat. But they're doing well so far.
So there's two of the semifinalists, and then you've got another semifinalist here, or Berntsen we mentioned, but also Monin. Isn't that Eric Monin there on the green boat in that shot?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Sailing with his wife, Uta, and they're a bit of, they're not all their family, but a family affair and a long-term team with them. And Eric, as some of you may have seen, after 20-something years of trying, won the Congressional Cup earlier this year, and that was a real, I think, a life goal for him. So he's, they're in great form, and he's never won here. So I think he's quite keen to get the Gold Cup. And I mean, if he could win the Congressional Cup and Gold Cup in the same year, that would be really something for him.
Wow, yeah, good.
And Chris Poole, who wasn't having a great regatta at the start, has come through, and he's into the semis, I see.
He's got through to the semis as well. Yeah, he had the collision with Johnny earlier, which was not his fault, and he's managed to come through to the semis as well. In that picture, you'll see the main trimmer there is Adam Minoprio from New Zealand, who won this event and was match racing tour champion in 2009, and he's also got Tom Parry and Nick Blackman sailing with him. So he's got a Kiwi team with him this week. And, I think with all the teams, they really did take a day or so to remind themselves how heavy these boats are and that they don't stop very quickly, but they get into the groove, and so it's those 4 are through, and it should be good.
As Jeff Ogle is saying, real sailboats are cool.
Right.
And Rick Bannerow, just let me get Rick's comment here. Eric Monine was 3rd in the 6-meter worlds last month at the Sewanaka Corinthian Yacht Club. He was 3rd in the 6-meter worlds open class fleet. We covered that rather extensively, as you will know.
Yeah, they did. They did well.
Now, question: what happened to one of my favorite young sailors? I've known his mother since the 95 Cup, and this, of course, is the famously good Kiwi sailor Nick E.J.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Egnott Johnson, his mother Leslie Egnott Johnson, and her married name I forget, but terrific. He did not qualify for the semis. Is that right?
He just missed out. So he, after the end of the second round robin, he was in 5th. So he just missed out. He was looking good there for a second. He just took a little too long to get into the groove. And, poor guy, he's had a pretty busy summer. He was at the Admiral's Cup, sailing the, I forget the name of the boat, with Gavin Brady and the Hong Kong team. And then he's been everywhere. He's been doing, he was back to New Zealand. And actually, we flew in on slightly separate planes, and we met him at the airport, and he saw me in the airport on Sunday and said, hey, look at this. He showed me his phone, and he had a stopwatch, a timer going from when he left his home to get to Bermuda, and it was running, and I had to double take. So it was running at 46 and a half hours.
Oh,
The poor guy. He was actually surprisingly awake. The first morning, not so much, but quite a bit of jet lag. But he's young; they can handle it.
And so you got to
sadly has not made it through.
Say again.
He hasn't made it through. So he got close today, but
so I've gone back a picture because Andrew McIrvin, who probably knows what boat he was sailing, you said with Gavin Brady on one of the Hong Kong boats, but
he was skippering the other boat. Yeah, the smaller boat.
Okay, so Andrew is saying, love the pink buffer on the stern of the IODs. Cannot believe it works. Does it work?
They're actually they're T-bars, and they're not. Those aren't fitted to the back of the boat. It's about a meter long tube,
right.
Just a plastic tube with pink foam on the end, and to stop the boats.
It's to make the boats longer. It's been done on any number of other match racing boats, but it's to make the boats longer, so you have to clear the T-bar, that pink,
that's right.
that pink bar. So it makes you say they're sticking off the back end of the boat by a meter.
Yeah, it's about a meter. You might see.
So you might clip the T-bar rather than clipping the transom of the boat, putting your bow against one of the corners of the quarters of the boat. So
they're quite light. They kind of bend to a certain degree and then break. I think we've lost 4 already this week.
Andrew says he was Nick E.J. back on Nick E.J. who was sailing on Bow Ideal. He was driving that boat. You said Nick E.J. Andrew Pindar. Nick E.J. is a fabulous sailor and a great guy. Could not agree more. I've known him from Governor's Cup days, and he did a great job representing his team, his club, and his country at Governor's Cup over the 2 or 3, maybe 4 years he sailed there. Leslie E.J.'s husband's last name is Johnson. They combined them with a J. Egnott Johnson. Okay, got it. Leslie Egnott and Leslie Egnott Johnson. So we talked about Chris Poole, whom I always call Scott because I used to coach a kid in hockey in Michigan in Ann Arbor. Scott, he was a great kid too. Chris Poole is through, but Nick E.J. is not. Then how about on the ladies' side?
Yeah, so we've got 8 women's teams this week, which is great. We as I said before, we rebranded and launched the women's tour, which was previously called the WIM Series, Women's International Match Racing Series, which Liz Bayliss started in 2013, and we relaunched it as the Women's World Match Racing Tour with Liz as well in 2022. and it's been going great. And we've got all these new women's teams that are now on the tour, and this is young Martina Karlsson on the far left of that picture, from Gothenburg. So they've been training with Anna Osling and Johnny Berntsen in Gothenburg. So it's great to have them here. They've never been to Bermuda before. They've never sailed an IOD before. I think it was a bit of an eye opener on the first day, but they had some good tips from there.
I'm just looking at the matchracingresults.com. It looks like they have a little more. They have another race or two to go in their round robin.
They did. Yeah, they were supposed to finish it today, but the wind dropped, so they had to come in early. So there are a few already through to the semis. Sadly, I don't think Martina's made it through.
No, it doesn't look like it, because it looks like she had a 0-7.
Yeah.
0-7 in the first round robin, and now she came a little bit better. She's won 3 matches in round robin 2. They're looking at the women's. They don't have a consolidated thing up. So, but it's good to see new teams on the circuit, isn't it?
It is great, and that's Anna Osling, second from the right, and her long-term crew. They've been sailing the women's tour for since it started, and still going very strong. They narrowly missed out on this event last year to Pauline Courtois, so they're super keen to go all the way and win the event this year. But yeah, they're great, and it's great to have a full set of 8 teams, and I say the base of these women's match racing teams. There's maybe 20 plus active women's teams, and that's starting to build. So hopefully we'll have some new events next year to add to the tour as well. So yeah, it's good.
Let me ask Julia about this comment from Mark Michelson, and maybe we all have to do some more coaching. Mark says, "Love that the women's tour is now a thing, but can we lose the folded arm team photos?"
Okay. Yeah, so there was a discussion. Okay, thanks for the comment. And there was much discussion about this, and there's a reason that there's a part reason why they're folded arms, because the day previously we took all the pictures of the open teams, which are predominantly the guys' teams, and yes, they have folded arms. It's not a bad thing. I know that some don't like it, and the comment was then should everybody look the same, and it was decided that they should. So that's why it's folded arms. So
I don't know. I'm with Mark Michelson and the gang that thinks, put your arms around each other.
Yeah.
Have, do a little more. If you see in the NFL and our National Football League, you'll see some of this.
Yeah.
But not much anymore. They're getting away from it, and they're doing, some of it's goofy social media type, not quite a TikTok dance, but we got to get everybody to smile. At least they are smiling. Look at the smiles.
If you look in the gallery, and I don't know if we can share the link. We got a Google gallery running of hundreds of pictures this week. There's plenty of smiling shots. The reason we often do more formal shots like this, albeit people are smiling, are for some media outlets that don't want to always post kind of the more candid pictures. They want to perhaps have more the formal team. So there's something for everyone.
Yeah. Okay. This is like at a yacht club where nobody has opinions on anything until it's time to order the trophies.
You're right.
Or the gear for the stag cruise. We got to get you to stag cruise, James, sometime soon.
Yes.
And join some of the other esteemed guests like Andrew McIrvin we've had there. So Sail GP also uses folded arms. Steve Gruber, arms around each other just because I sail with them doesn't necessarily mean I like that. J. Frederick Bland is saying, no butt padding, please.
Yes.
Okay, so we beat that one to death, but here's your T-bar again on the back of one of these beautiful boats. And Gordon Smith will be pleased to hear about this team from Denmark.
Yes, that's Lea Vogelius that Gordon will know well from Copenhagen, and they've been sailing on the tour for a while. They're a lot of old friends, and they're doing well. I think I'm not sure they're close, but I think they'll go through to the semis. So
yeah, it looks like they had a better second round robin than they did first.
Yeah.
just looking at the chart. So hopefully they will go through. That would be great.
Yeah.
And Gordon, no doubt. And there's another shot of them. Vogelius. Nice name. I like the pronunciation of that.
Vogelius. Which commentator Tucker Thompson, who's been drafted in this week to do the commentary, which sadly is just on local radio here, has had a real trouble pronouncing Vogelius. He just can't do it.
He has trouble with a lot of names, to be fair. But man, did he get? He got nice ink from Magnus the Magnificent in his Rule 69 blog today. Magnus did a night. Did you see it?
I saw the opening paragraph. I didn't get to read it all, but
you've been rather busy.
I think it was an article about a lot of the commentators, and Tucker's he's good. He's good after two dark and stormy. Anyway.
We always give him a hard time, and we figured that he sent some. He's got that. He and his wife have this sock company, and they sell socks and belts and other yachting. And we figured he sent some free socks to Magnus to get all that nice ink. I was texting with Claire Harrington about that earlier.
There's plenty of sock selling going on this week, I'm sure. So
I get criticized for leaving your logo right next to the Death Wish coffee.
I didn't.
That's always right back there, front and center. It's one of the few logos that we display prominently.
Love it. I've just had some women's stickers made in the same size. I've got to send you one of those. Doing that as well. But no, we've got a good. So we've got Tucker here, and I tell you who also flew in today, Lisa Meyer from Long Beach, who's never been to Bermuda before, and decided to come over and hang out with us. And she flew in this afternoon, and she's with us for the weekend. So
you give her a big hug for me, please. I'm a big fan of her. She's upbeat, positive.
Yes.
Was a great Commodore at Long Beach Yacht Club. She's still Commodore, is she, this year?
Still is. She's Commodore of Long Beach.
Until December. And she's worked really hard to try to preserve all of the Olympic events in Long Beach instead of half of them going up to. And that's still, by the way, those of you who've been following that saga.
It's still open.
It's still open.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I did not know that. I'll try and get the gossip on that from Lisa. I thought it had been decided, but which I thought was a shame. But then I don't know all the political, having been used to being there at the Congressional Cup, I do like that venue at Belmont Pier.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the latest is. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
Gordon Smith. Indeed, Leia's crew are excellent. Danish women's sailing circle is pretty healthy. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And Andrew McIrvin is saying, a friend of mine was at university with Mr. Thompson. In those days, his nickname was Tugger. That's true. It still is. I wouldn't use it.
Oh, good. I hope I can use that.
Tugger Thompson. You tell him that not Tucker Thompson, Tugger.
I've never heard that, but
Tugger. The things you learn on Sailing Illustrated.
Absolutely necessary.
He's always got his one-liners for everyone else. It's quite hard to catch him out, but I can catch him out on the spelling of Vogelius, and now I'm going to go and announce on the microphone that Tugger Thompson is.
He'll probably think I told you, not McIrvin, but anyway.
That'll get me off his Christmas list and his mailing list.
Tugger Thompson. And here's the reigning champ. I don't know if she's the reigning champ in Bermuda, but she sure has, she's 5 times World Women's Match Racing champion?
Well, she's reigning champ for the same event last year, the inaugural Aspen Women's Regatta, which she won last year. She also won the overall Women's World Match Racing Tour last year, and has, by points done already this year, has already secured her win of the Women's World Match Racing Tour this year, which will award her on Sunday. So yeah, they are good. I mean, they're old friends. That team have been sailing together for years, and she is always the one to beat.
So in the second round, she's on 5 wins ahead of everybody else, and in the first round, she came out on top 6-1. It looks like. Yeah, that's the website. That's matchracingresults.com. By the way, is that what it's called? Matchracingresults.com.
That's right. Yeah, it's a good it's a good system. We copy the code into the tour sites as well, but it is a good way to follow. It's a good bit of software, and the race committee update the results live, so you don't have to keep refreshing your screen if you're following it. And it's a very simple system that race committees can use. They just literally push a win-loss button, and it uploads it, and then simultaneously posted onto Twitter or X or whatever it's called. So
yeah, we use it for GovCup, and it's really our live
Good
results reporting service until we go live with the television. I totally agree. It's fabulous. Why don't we do that? Why doesn't somebody start that up, a live result service for a fleet racing?
Yeah, I don't know if there is. I thought there was one.
I don't
Maybe
believe there
are.
is. Correct me in the chat, please, if I'm wrong. But Claire Harrington also saying, asking you to say hi to Tugger. He did the Invitational Cup commentary this year.
Oh, I'm gonna. Trust me, I'm gonna have some fun with that one.
Yes.
I have power over the microphone this week due to my very important position here, so I will make that one a good one.
Speaking of important positions, if you are just joining us, we're about an hour, 55 minutes into this show. And James Pleasance is our esteemed guest today, a longtime friend of Fozy, Super Fozy, World Match Racing Tour Executive Director, and he is in Bermuda in front of a fake background. That is the former model room, a picture of the former model room, and they haven't put the new models up in the rehabbed room yet, apparently.
Yeah, they're going it. Yeah, sorry, I'm not fake news. I'm fake background today, and I'll get your picture when the models are up.
Is it
computer and show you outside, but I'll make a mess of that. So,
is it true that they're building a new ballroom there, a big, beautiful ballroom
in Bermuda?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're knocking down the whole east wing of the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club.
Well done.
Putting
well done. That was
carat gold ballroom.
That was a good comeback. I've got a video from yesterday, not yet from today, but let me play this video from yesterday's racing.
I don't think we've had this much fun ever here before. It picked up a little bit, so a little bit more breeze. Yeah, we can improve, but it's also very, very hard because it's shifting 40 degrees and it's up and down in wind speed. So, I think the mindset needs to be that you can sail well on the course and then you can win anyway.
Yeah, for sure. We had a really tough first couple of days here in Bermuda. There's a lot of calibration that's been going on the past 2 days, but today it felt like it's finally starting to click. And the hardest part in these boats, in my opinion, is getting off the start line. Once the boat's moving, it doesn't stop. So you need to have your time on distance perfect from a minute out. I think we managed to chalk up 3 wins and 1 loss. So yeah, feeling pretty happy with how we're sailing going to the final day of round robin tomorrow.
Me and Anna trained a bit together in Sweden. We did win against her. We did get 2 penalties on her. Felt really good. Everything was better today. The speed, timing to the line, it was amazing out there. I think we have 3 races left, nothing to lose, so just all in.
Oh yeah, today was really tricky. It has been shifty all days, but today's was very unpredictable, we thought, but managed to get out with 4 points today, so we're very pleasant with that. It's the first goal to be in the semis, and you can never be in this competition and this strong opponent, you never know. So let's see if we can try to stay on top on the scoreboard.
Okay, so that was obviously yesterday.
That's
the
right.
video, and you'll be coming out with a video. Do you have live coverage this weekend at all? You don't have live from Bermuda.
Yeah, sadly, we don't have live coverage. We've got a very talented Lexi Pline from Newport, Rhode Island, who does a lot of the video work with, I think used to work at Oak Cliff Sailing, now works with US Sailing, covers a lot of their events. And she now has extra responsibility as she is the only drone on the team. Sorry, I shouldn't mention that again. And, so she's posting all of our socials this week and doing all of that aerial moving footage that you saw is hers. So I'm afraid not live. We're hoping we'll be full live next year with the full team.
So going forward, now you have semis tomorrow. The men in the morning, women in the afternoon. Is that right?
Yeah, it'll be. I think that's the plan, but it's changeable a little bit because of the weather. But the plan will be to run through the semis for the Open and finish off the races, the round robin for the women, which should have finished today, but the wind dropped. We lost the breeze. So
and these 4 men, These four teams are going forward at the top, the overall positions after round robin 2, and Nick EJ just missed the cut there on 5th.
Yeah.
And also say hi for me to Timotei Rossi, who's also a Gov Cup alum, a hell of a nice kid, good sailor, obviously struggling there a bit this week.
Yeah, I think he struggled a bit, but those, I tell you, Ian Garetta and Timotei Rossi are both ones to watch. I mean, particularly Ian. He's he's a quiet guy, but really has been doing well. I think he'll be really fun to watch. And the other name there that you may know is Peter Whitwire from Canada, who actually finished, I think, 2nd in the IOD world about a month ago and owns an IOD. He's the only person I know that owns his very own IOD. And so was certainly a favorite this week, but hasn't come up against these guys a lot. And,
do you know where he's from? What is he from? Royal Van?
Yes,
Royal Vancouver. Yeah, I think he's from out west, from Royal Vancouver.
Yeah, great team, and he was really pleased to be here this week. Sadly, hasn't made the cut.
James, this is what I grabbed. Well, I've got it live now on the website, so we could go back and look at the live if you want. But again, it looks like you got how many? 2 more? 1 more race? 2 more for some, it looks like.
1 or 2 more. To be honest, I didn't get the very latest scores, but I think Pauline Courtois is through. I think Anna Osling's through, and then there was a bit of a fight between Julia Ottson, Leia Vogelius, and Nicole Brolt, who's sailing here for the first time from San Francisco.
Yes,
Julia.
Yes, and good lady.
She is a good lady. Good sailor. She's been hard at work on this. She and her husband do a lot of hosting of events here too, and events that she sails in.
Yes,
so
they do.
Yeah,
they do.
Bruce Stone. So it's good to see them. So who do you think? You think it's Pauline, Anna, and Leah? Looks like Leia Vogelius is through.
Leia and yes, and then
looking at she was 4 and 3 in round robin 1. Leia was. And I don't see anybody who's hotter. Maybe Christine Moritzen. Has she got a chance? No, she's
no,
pooched.
I don't think so.
She's pooched the second round. So maybe Nicole will get through.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think Leia and Nicole are both on total 7, and so it's going to come down to maybe the last race.
Yeah,
so
okay.
A bit to play for there. Yeah.
Okay, let's let you go to your press conference, but I got a couple more questions for you, sir.
That's right. I wasn't needed at the press conference. I'm okay for it.
This is your 2025 season, and you've got 1 more event in January of 2026, actually, in Shenzhen in China. The WM down there in the lower right corner, you've got the WMRT final, and then you're going to tell us that something else that's some new news.
Well, well, I don't know how new it is, but the folks in Shenzhen kind of threw it on me a bit earlier this year that they have their China National Games, which is their equivalent to the national equivalent to the Olympics. And I was informed that was basically taking place. It's already started now, and it runs all through November and December. And the final ceremony or whatever of whichever part of that event is right at our venue in Shenzhen in December. So it came from the top by means of the I suspect the president, that there was to be no other events, and so they were not able to host the event in Shenzhen in December. However, we were able to find the date 6th to 11th of January, which was the closest we could get. So that's what we're going to do this year. So the final of it's a shame, but we'll make it work. The final of the 2025 tour will be in the first week in January 2026.
And then?
It will then run back to back with the Macau Match Cup, which will run from the 14th to 18th. So the teams doing both, and there are some, not all, will come and do the tour final in Shenzhen. There's then a 1-hour ferry from Shenzhen to Macau. They get a day off and straight into it again. And
that's the start of the 2026 season, presumably, in Macau.
That will be the start of the 2026 tour, the rest of which is kind of coming together at the moment and will be announced most likely in the coming month.
McIrvin says that your air miles, James, make his look pathetic.
That's hard to believe.
That's hard to believe. He gets around Europe pretty well, though. And John Emmett, his wife, of course, is Chinese, says that it's actually the Chinese National Olympics, whatever they're called, national games, are much bigger than the actual Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And John Sangmeister, thanking you for the nice job that you are doing with the tour. And you really rescued it and resuscitated it, no question. Andrew Pindar saying, so Air Miles Andy isn't you after all. I had never heard him called Air Miles Andy.
I think these air miles, it's not about the number of miles. It's about what end of the plane you sit. And so I may fly around a lot, but I can assure you it takes me a long time to build the miles.
Pedro Foiling Sailor, a.k.a. Peter Stevenson, is asking, why is there no tour event in Australia?
Yeah, I agree. There should be. Let's do it. Anyone out there that wants to put an event together, we should. We took the tour final there in 22 with the CYCA in Sydney. It was a fabulous event. I loved it there. It's a much better place to be in December than the UK for sure. It's not for, there are some very willing clubs and support down there. I think to put on one of these tour events, whether it's me putting it on or a host club, does require a level of resource and funding as well, which means it's got to have sponsors and behind it as well, and that's just not something we've been able to join all the dots with in Australia at the moment. But it's there's a lot of willing people down there. I'm in regular contact with our friends in Sydney, and I'd like to try and do that. So that's very high on the list. And actually, we talked about doing a double in Sydney and in Auckland, like a back-to-back. So give the teams that are going to fly all the way down there, give them a 2-event shot, which would be good.
That'd be good.
One last slide, and that is with the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club and your sponsors, both of this event and the tour.
That's the local sponsors for the event here, Aspen and Bermuda Tourism, who kindly are the main partners. Goslings, which always a very welcome partner for any event. Renaissance Reinsurance, who are a long-term partner of the event here. They also do the Junior Gold Cup. There's 30 or 40, you say Opti Sailors here, the annual Junior Gold Cup, and they're having fun. They'll be sailing on the main course tomorrow. So there's a whole bunch of Opti kids, all from around the world, down in the club this week. So there's a real buzz in the club. There's a new partner here, Howden, which is another insurance company, actually. There's first time they've joined the Gold Cup, so thank you to them. And some other local companies there. And then our long-term partner, Penelope, with the tour, and our sustainability partner with Sailors for the Sea. And not added yet to that list, and my apologies to Mr. Pindar, is our recently announced partnership with the Magenta Project, which Andrew is obviously very close to, is his involvement with that. We've got some good fun plans with them to try and develop and create some women's match racing clinics, possibly here in Bermuda and other places. So I'm excited about that. We announced that about a week ago. So logo to follow. Sorry, Magenta Project, and Andrew, if you're watching.
Yeah, he pinged me earlier and said there was some exciting news coming in that regard. So congratulations to you both, to all concerned, and everybody in Bermuda and everybody on the tour and all the clubs, because you, unlike some other sailing events that we know about, not only respect the clubs, but love the clubs and are very closely aligned with the clubs, which was the way to run our beloved sport. Mark Michelson saying, love that you are including the Magenta Project. We try to include it on this show as often as possible. That thing they did at Cows at the Squadron the other day, I think, or was it the Squadron or the RORC in the big tent with the women in keel boats, big boat sailing. It was great stuff. And I want everybody to know that I was not asked to put those sponsors in, but we love the sponsors of events in our beloved sport, and I try to give them, as does James, as much attention and publicity as possible. Right, James?
Yeah, they'll be delighted with that. Thank you very much. And that should hopefully get me a free Goslings after this, now that you've plastered their logo everywhere. So now they're obviously the Goslings HQ is here, and they've got some fun things going. And actually, they've got an activity this evening, which I should mention. It's got nothing to do with sailing. The mark set bots that the automated race marks, they've navigated one around the other side of the club. We put down a bit of grass, and we're shooting 300 biodegradable golf balls from the hard stand at the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. Anyone that gets a hole in one or a mark set bot in one, I don't know what they're calling it, gets a free bottle of Gosling. So I will also be refining my golf swing after this with a glass in my hand as well. So, sailing events can be fun too, even if there's no wind.
They should
supposed to be. Yeah.
They should be indeed. Go back.
And that's quite fun. And I gather it's a mark set bot thing. I guess they're trying to be diverse and get out in other sports, but it's quite fun that you can get a whole range of them and apparently hit golf balls into them. But anyway.
Thank you, sir. Go do it. Have fun. And we appreciate your coming on and updating us on this fabulous couple of events.
Yes,
the two
indeed.
of them, both of them.
You've been busy.
Thanks, Go. And we've got the team posting some fun stuff on Instagram stories for those of you that are following. And if you want to watch the T-Bone, I guess between Burnson and Poole, I gather that's been posted. So a bit of fun.
Well, maybe we'll run that on Tuesday's show. But
share us some views. Follow us. Always great to have us. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. Take good care.
Indeed.
Ciao for now.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Bye
Thanks
for
a
now.
lot. Okay. Julia, he's a good man,
He
one.
is.
And we're really...
absolutely done a super job.
He has rescued. He's resuscitated, rescued and resuscitated. Thank you, James, for all your hard work, and great that you're in beautiful Bermuda. That from Lori Fullerton. Gordon Smith saying thanks, as are any number of others. Dan Jasper, Steve Gruber, Mark Michelson, Tom Fishbeck, Balboa Yacht Club guys hanging out at the Longo Beach Yacht Club. Little weekend cruise there. Great interview. Joe Holtzman, who doesn't know, I don't believe he knows James, but Joe, who is from our home club in Michigan, a good friend of Clark Chapin's. James, pleasant as usual, Ryman is saying. Thanks, Ted.
Yes.
John Emmett, I just need to find Lily a match racing team. We'll sponsor it. John Emmett Sailing could be the name of the team, John. You could sponsor it.
Right.
Get her on the circuit. You probably find some other sponsorship to go along with that. And that's our feature for today. And if you're just joining us, we're an hour and 12 minutes into today's show. James Pleasance was live from the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, the Bermuda Gold Cup, and the Aspen Bermuda Women's Match Racing Tour event. Terrific stuff. Julia, Bravo Zulu.
Yes.
That we usually do right at the top of the show, but we wanted to put James on so that he could get on with his evening. Bravo Zulu, as we told you on Tuesday, actually, the Blackjack, it was Blackjack 100. They were the monohull line honors winners, and now the Rolex has put the video out that I thought we should watch.
Winning the Rolex Middle Sea race is always a great accomplishment in the sailor career, and for all of us, it's the first time as a team with Blackjack, and we are extremely proud of it.
Winning the Rolex Middle Sea race is very special. Obviously, it's a big one, big race, a long race, different weather conditions.
We had to push through a lot of light air, challenging. The race delivered at every step.
Turnaround Lampedusa, it was very nice. And downwind, we did 17, 18 knots, and sky full of stars.
The most beautiful thing this year is nature we encountered. We had some beautiful sunrise, some really beautiful sunsets. We saw some turtles. We had some dolphins swimming on their back next to the boat. These machines are highly complex, as most people are aware of, and for us the big achievement is to have completed all that with 100% success.
This race especially is a very nice one to win.
Yeah, they had just finished Tuesday morning when we featured them on the show, but we didn't have a video, so I thought we should play that.
It's really a nice video, too.
Really is indeed. And in the meantime, we've got an overall winner. Bravo Zulu to them. This is Baltazar. They have triumphed in the 2025 Rolex Middle Sea Race. No video yet, but we do have a little bit of pros for you at 1200 CES, Central European Summertime. The overall winner of the 46th edition of the Rolex Middle Sea Race was announced as the Mills 72 Balthazar, led by Louis Balsian. The Royal Malta Yacht Club has confirmed that none of the remaining yachts still racing is able to better Balthazar's IRC corrected time. The crew knew they had sailed an exceptional race as soon as they crossed the finish line in Marsam. How do you pronounce that?
I don't know.
That's the Valletta Harbor there. Set against the stunning background of Valletta, aglow in Tuesday morning sun. Balthazar's corrected time set a high bar for those left on the course, a bar that proved too much despite the best efforts of even GBR, GBR, whose corrected time was just 5 minutes adrift, meaning longer. So Bravo Zulu, it was a good race overall. A lot of local teams as well. Balthazar's crew, and if I don't mess up too many of the names, I apologize to any whom I do. Louis Balsian, Ariana Van de Luche, Bauer Becking, of course, Diego Torrado, and our old friend, Dirk de Ritter. Harry Owens, Harry Smith, Henri Demesmacher, Jaime Ward, Javier de la Plaza, Jens Dolmer, Juan Tato, Louis Robert Kuhl, Max Deckers, Pablo Ararte, Roger van Overveld, and Simbad Quiroga. Oh, sorry about that. I did actually read through those names once before to try to get them right. Bravo Zulu also to the Australian sailing and to the Australian sailing team. Matt Weirn, the two-time ILCA gold medalist, has announced that he's going to do it again.
Hi, Matt Weirn here. I've just decided to continue for another campaign to LA 2028 and just went out for my first sail of the campaign in a glamour Sydney Harbour day, which was fantastic. Something simple about going out in the ILCA and just being able to sail by yourself and have a bit of fun, and some nice waves and nice breeze. It's pretty awesome. So looking forward to the future.
So when you consider that Ben Ainsley had a little bit of the most decorated Olympian in our sport, Sir Ben Ainsley, had a little bit slower start. I think he had a silver and then a gold. And he's now, Matt's got 2 golds.
Wow.
And he's going to go for a third. And he is, I checked his age, he's only, I think, 30.
Wow.
I think. So that's the announcement. There he is winning. And he's going for the gold again in 2028. Can he three-peat? Yeah, he's now 30. Age 90, born 1995, only age 30. So Bravo Zulu to him, Bravo Zulu to the Australian sailing team, and of course Australian sailing, I should say. James, it's always a pleasure. It's pleasant to have James Pleasance on the show.
No question.
It's also pleasant to have John Emmett's regular reportage in the coaching corner. Our super fozzy John Emmett, who's a little out of focus on this one, but at least the yachts are in focus.
Hi, Tom, Julia, and all the fozzy. You might not be able to tell because I'm trying to take shelter, but it's another windy day in Weymouth, and it feels to a certain extent like winter has come. You can see in the background a lot of the yachts are coming off the water to be on hard standing until March. Although we get these sunny, windy days, it's pretty difficult to get the time on the water now. In terms of coaching, we're far more likely in Weymouth to get days blown off than to have days that we can't sail due to light wind. And to a certain extent, that's limited by the ability of the sailor or the specific classes. But yeah, in the background, there's quite a lot of noise because people are trying to get their boats off before November. And I think at that point, the insurance companies start to get a little bit more nervous, and that's reflected in the relative costs. Also, it's the time of year I seem to do a lot of driving around, so I probably need to keep it short. But I'm going to try my best, as always, to attend the live show, because I think when we look at engagement in media, one of the things which drives the algorithm is the likes, the follows, the shares, and possibly especially the comments. So I do my best to try and be engaging and to promote questions, and I know James Pleasant's going to do an amazing job, because actually one of the big discussions we have at the moment about format of sailing is how easy is it to understand. And I keep on arguing, if you have to keep on changing the format and we don't have a constant format, that also makes it hard to understand. And let's face it, match racing is probably one of the easiest to understand. Now, don't let statistics get in the way of a good story, but one of the things that came up in the, I guess you'll call it Town Hall, World Sailing Town Hall, was Pavel said there was 1.2 million match race views for the match race they had between himself, the Cypriot, and the Australian Tom Slingsby, who I think I don't need to announce at all. But that following, you know, people's followed these athletes since then, with Tom Slingsby and the Sail GP and the 3P and all the other things he's achieved, including the MOFs, etc. Pavel's still going strong in the Olympic circuit and won, I think it was a silver medal last year. So, you know, it just shows it's all about the personalities and this engaging media. But match racing, I mean, it's pretty simple. Generally speaking, is that, you know, boat that crosses the line first won the race. I guess part of the problem is you've only got two people in any one race, because obviously if you have 44 ilkers racing, potentially you have a lot of interest from 44 countries. But in terms of that grand finale and that spectacle, I mean, match racing's perfect. And I think, you know, the World Match Racing Tour is something that has just gone from strength to strength, and you have the names like Ian Williams and stuff who've been there for years and years and years, where actually often the wily old dog may beat the youthful experience. And sailing really is a sport for life. Anyone can sail. I'm going to catch up with Jazz in November, and hopefully going to catch up with Danny as well at some point, because having accessible sport is part and parcel of it all. And I know all the Fosies have their favourite bit. You know, some people think TP52s are the best. Some people think the AC is by far the, you know, the premier sport or premier part of the sport. Personally, I like the Olympic sailing, you know, those 20, 30-year-olds at the peak of their physical prowess, and it's an event, you know, just once every 4 years. So although it's actually possibly harder to win a world championships in some respects, the Olympics is very special because it's that one sailor per nation. And certainly I know a lot of people who would say that the Olympics is a life-changing experience. It certainly is, or was for me as a coach, and it affects how I approach everything now. And match racing is just part and parcel of our sport. I found actually a sort of similar branch, team racing. I have incredibly fond memories, having done it for 5 years at university and then about 10 years of coaching after that. And it works very well in the UK in the deepest, darkest winter to have those short, sharp races. But yeah, I'd be very interested to hear what James has to say. And wherever we say in England, whatever your cup of tea, keep your eyes open for all aspects of sport and try and promote all aspects of sport, even if it doesn't affect you. Because one of the things I found the most disappointing is the least engagement I have by a long way tends to be the para videos, whereas people are always engaged in things that think may affect them either now or in the future. On that note, I better get driving or I'm going to miss the show, but sail safe, sail fast, have fun.
I didn't have to. I was going to put a lower third in there.
Yeah.
You know, and they've all got, anything I thought of it has been covered in the comments just now. Yeah, there's some old jokes. And speaking of old jokes, there's the joke about, I didn't use it in the kangaroo segment, but maybe I'll put it in next Tuesday, the kangaroo joke. Remind me, Ted Ryman, to use the kangaroo joke in Tuesday's show about the guy that sees the kangaroo and the buxom woman together. John Emmett sailing, get to the front of the fleet. And by the way, Lily, his wife, was sailing on a TP52? Was sailing in the
Bermuda.
No, in the Rolex Middle Sea Race.
Oh, yes.
So bravo Zulu to her as well. And by the way, John's putting together a panel. We're going to discuss this again as we did in January, and the Australians, among others, are hard at work to get Paralympic sailing back into the games, at least as a demonstration event, in 2032. in Brisbane because we need that. By the way, the turnout apparently is not that great for this Oman Paralympic Sailing Championship that's coming up here. Is it this month or is it? I think it's later. I think it's in November. I
think so. Yeah.
John says that Lily is now at the J70 World. She was on a Volvo 65. And yeah, you got a lot of people. When John Emmett, Gordon Smith, and I agree on something, to say nothing of Magnus and a few of the others, when we agree that match racing is so good and was great in the Olympics, it still was the best event in the 2012 Olympics, and maybe the best event ever. But I was not in Weymouth, but everybody who was there up watching it up on the hill, and the women match racing event was widely regarded as one of the best Olympic events ever. He'll do a para report, he says, after Monday's meeting. Okay, good stuff.
Okay.
John Emmett, thank you for your report as usual. And speaking of world sailing, we told you on Tuesday about the nominations, the finalists for the Rolex World Sailor of the Year that'll be awarded here next month. The team nomination is now out, and we have that. No surprise, Emirates Team New Zealand nominated as one of the finalists, Pete Burling and co. for winning the Cup last year. And this team that's done very well in the J24 Worlds and the Europeans. Irish team, right?
Yep.
And match in pink by Normandy for their continued domination of world women's match racing. 5th time. Pauline Courtois and co. And yes, something that a lot of our foes have been pushing here as the best team, the first blind person to sail solo and unaided around the Isle of Wight, the old America's Cup course. Bravo Zulu. And that was a team effort. So we'll see how that all plays out in Ireland next month, because that's where the 2025 World Sailing Annual Conference will be held the 2nd through the 8th of November in Dunleary, in Ireland. Julia?
Sir.
What happened on this day in history? We promoted this at the top of the show. 24th of October, 1887. And here is your first clue.
Okay.
And while you're pondering that, the mutton chop Commodore, lawyer, and author, I will tell you that this segment came from Hamish, so that's actually a second clue when Hamish Ross sends you something.
It's historically valid.
Elbridge Thomas Gerry is his name, was his name, an American who lived from 1837 to 1927. There is a book of his life entitled An Exceptional Life in what?
Gilded.
Oh, is that a G?
I think so.
You're right. Thank you. In Gilded Gotham, so in New York City and thereabouts. And Hamish Ross tells me that, interestingly, this guy's grandfather was a USA, an American founding father, and one of the guys that helped write the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, maybe even signed it, and a former VP. His dad was a vice president. U.S. vice president, and was the origin, the dad was, of the term gerrymander.
Oh, isn't that nice to know?
Which is a hot topic right now in the U.S. as various states try to gerrymander their local congressional districts to get more congresspersons, representatives for one party or the other. The term gerrymandering is a portmanteau of a salamander and Elbridge Gerry, Vice President of the United States at the time of his death, who was governor of Massachusetts in 1812. That's an auspicious year. Signed a bill that created a partisan district in the Boston area that was compared to the shape of a mythological salamander. The term has negative connotations, needless to say, and gerrymandering is almost always considered a corruption of the democratic process. The word gerrymander can be used both as a verb for the process and as a noun for a resulting gerrymandered district.
Mm-hmm.
That is indeed true. Hamish went on to tell me that from 86 until 88, this gentleman, the kid now, Jerry Elbridge Thomas Jerry, served as chairman of the New York State Commission on Capital Punishment, which replaced hanging with the electric chair.
Mm-hmm.
For this decision, a proposed name for this method before electrocution, where the electric chair was adopted, was Jerryside. Hamish, where do you come? He read the book.
Yes.
So thank you to our Fozy Hamish Ross for that information. And I carry on because we still haven't identified, unless you have, Julia, what happened on this date in 1887.
Well,
Can we carry on?
Yeah.
Must have something to do with the aforementioned gentleman, Commodore.
Indeed.
This is his yacht, circa 1886. Commodore Jerry's 173-foot steam yacht, the S.Y. Electra.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1884, Commodore Jerry commissioned the Harlan and Hollingsworth of Wilmington, Delaware, to build this 173-foot yacht, S.Y. steam yacht Electra. This was perhaps the first such yacht to have electric lighting. The guy seemed to have an affinity for electricity, comprising 58 individual lights plus a strong searchlight. She was also the first yacht to have an ice maker, Julia. I mean, excuse me.
Yes.
The guy was progressive, an ice maker on board.
How to do that?
Capable of creating 56 pounds of ice per day. I mean, forget about ice for cocktails. The idea that you could keep maybe the food in storage, keep it iced up, was probably, you didn't have refrigerators, but you had ice boxes. To chill Jerry's champagne.
Yes.
The ship was broken up in 1912, according to Wikipedia. Jerry was Commodore, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty, of the New York Yacht Club. He held office from 86 to 1892. The pilot boat Eldridge T. Jerry was named in his honor. So what, Fog Machine, was he the inventor of Jerry? Claire Harrington knew he was Commodore. There's a picture of him in the stairway, if I remember well, Commodore Harrington, Claire, going up to the floors up above. It's great fun. When you're in the New York Yacht Club, Julia, if you're old and out of shape, or if you've been imbibing or eating too much, you always take the elevator up.
Yeah.
And I was a member of the New York Yacht Club when they still had an elevator operator, a person whose job was in there to sit in there in the elevator all day and evening. They had maybe 2 shifts. And he worked the little control. What floor he took you up, and you'd ring a bell, and you'd hear the bell throughout the whole house, and then he'd come get you with and there was an elevator operator sitting on a little, in that elevator. Now it's, of course, all automated and push button and yada, yada.
I think maybe the first time I was in there it was automated.
Well, maybe the first time you were in there, they didn't even have an elevator.
Maybe not.
I'm teasing. But forget about the cocktails. Blasphemy, Clark Chapin is saying. We will award the Commodore Jerry Cup at the annual awards in a few weeks. Vice Commodore Claire Harrington is saying.
That's nice to know.
Okay, so now what happened on this day in history? He was the Commodore of the New York Yacht Club on this day in history, 1887.
Yes.
Does anybody know in the chat? Is Hamish Ross, he's staying mum, keeping mum. You say keeping mum or saying, what do you say?
Keeping mum.
Keeping mum, right? He's staying quiet. Well, the deed of gift made this 24th day of October, 1887. I'm quoting now from what is widely known as the third deed of gift between George L. Schuyler, as sole surviving owner of the cup won by the Yacht America at Cowes, England on the 22nd day of August, 1851 of the first part, and the New York Yacht Club of the second part, as amended by orders of the Supreme Court of the State of New York dated December 17, 1956. That was the Own Bottom Amendment, and the April 5th, 1985 amendment, which was the Southern Hemisphere amendment to allow the event to go on in the Southern Hemisphere summer. In witness whereof the said party, the first part, has hereunto set his hand. Long story short, this guy, and it was done in the Pleasance, George Schuyler was re-signing this deed. He was the only original donor still alive from 1851. In fact, he died less than 3 years after this incident. He had heart failure, and he was getting on. And they asked him to rewrite the deed and redeed it to the New York Yacht Club in 1887. Nobody's quite sure if that was legal because the other original donors were gone.
Yeah, well, it had
But
to be.
Schuyler was and did it. And the suspicion is, by a number of esteemed America's Cup historians, including Hamish Ross and Stephen Suchia, both of whom, of course, are Fozy, it is believed by myself, Hamish says, and also Stephen Suchia, that Elbridge Thomas Gerry, New York lawyer and New York Yacht Club Commodore, was the author of the third deed, the 1887 deed, even though it was a New York Yacht Club America's Cup Committee and George L. Schuyler as the nominal authors. So it sounds like this gentleman, Commodore Gerry, did the deed. So I've been waiting all day to say that. Did the deed.
Yes.
Julia, I thought of that last night when I was putting this together. Thank you, Hamish Ross. This day in history, Julia, on the 24th of October, 1887, the third America's Cup deed of gift was signed and turned over, rededicated, redeeded, regifted to the New York Yacht Club. Commodore Harrington says it's still the slowest elevator in New York City. Andrew Davola, Dahlia Davola, wondering if he shaved on this day. Did he mix Geritol and champagne? Oh, man. Oh, man, you croutons. Okay, that's what happened on this day.
Lamb
in
chops.
history. Yeah, lamb chops indeed. And Julie, as promised, we have an AAAA from Alistair Murray. I'm pleased to say this was actually part one of Tuesday's. I took part two because it had to do with the America's Cup.
Right.
And here's Alistair now with his awesome Aussie anecdote from earlier this week, I guess.
G'day, Tom, Julia, and all the Fozy. This is Alistair with AAAA, which is Alistair's awesome Aussie anecdote for Sailing Illustrated, a US show with my mates all around the world, Scott. And I like to introduce you to interesting people on my travels, as you know. And today I've got the pleasure of being with Scott O'Hare. Scott, g'day, mate, and welcome to Sailing Illustrated.
G'day, Alistair. Good to see you as always.
Yeah. And Scott is the president. G'day, Tom, Julia, and all the Fozy. This is Alistair with AAAA, which is Alistair's awesome Aussie anecdote for Sailing Illustrated, a US show with my mates all around the world, Scott. And I like to introduce you to interesting people on my travels, as you know. And today I've got the pleasure of being with Scott O'Hare. Scott, g'day, mate, and welcome to Sailing Illustrated.
G'day, Alistair.
Yeah?
Good to see you as always.
Yeah. And Scott is the president of the Boating Industry Association of Victoria. For my sins, I'm an honorary life member of the association, and I'm back on the board with Scott as my boss, with you as my president.
No,
So
I don't know about boss. Alistair's really more like a mentor. He's fantastic.
there you go. And how are you enjoying being the president of the
It's good. This
industry?
is my third year, and you know, we've made some changes, and obviously a big focus for us is the boat show, which is where we are now.
Yeah.
And it's a great show, and we've built it up to be, I think, probably the second best show in Australia. We're working on first best.
Yeah. Which is the best? Sanctuary Cove?
I think Sanctuary Cove.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, there's a lot of big boats, a lot of yachts too, which we don't have enough yachts here, which I know is a problem for you, Al.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in sailing in a minute. But yeah, no, the best sailing show I've ever been to, by the way, is in the US, and it's the Annapolis Sailboat Show.
Yeah,
You ever been there?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But,
So
something definitely to look forward to from the sounds of it.
Yeah. So the Melbourne Boat Show is going well. What do you think?
Yeah, good. Looking for crowd numbers. We just want to try and get some people through. It's not like a comparison to some of the big shows in Europe or America. I mean, you know, a good number for us would be maybe 40 to 45,000 people through. It's a free show. We're right in the heart of the city, and in a place called Docklands, and yeah, it is. It's just got a nice village atmosphere, and it's a lot of 110 exhibitors. So you know, it is a good show.
Yeah. Now you mentioned sailing, Aussie boat sales. Most of what you do is power.
Most of what I do is power. I used to have a couple of yacht brands, so I did Delphia when they were still around, and I did Bavaria for a little while, and I did X Yachts for a little while, and Busen for a little while. and just through circumstance, I don't have a yacht brand right now. In the long run, maybe that's something that might happen. We'll see. But
Sophia.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Anyway, they know about my new yacht, Saffron. They don't know about Saffron. So it's a sailing show.
Yes.
So let's talk about sailing.
Sure.
Because you're sailing a lot of powerboats and you've been in the business for many, many years. Tell us about your sailing background.
Well, it's interesting because actually, yes, I do sell a lot of powerboats, but my real passion, on-water passion, is sailing. And Dad built us a Sabo for Christmas for our family, and my first experience was bouncing off the swimming pool walls back in the day, and then always had firstly dinghies, but we're probably more of an offshore sailing family. We've had some big pocket maxis, and I've done a couple of Sydney Hobart starts, but sadly not finishes. It's a tough race, and
Sydney to Eden.
Yes, yeah, that sort of thing, Sydney to Eden. But we've done some big offshore stuff. There's a famous race or a race week here called Hamilton Island, and from Melbourne to Hamilton Island, maybe 2,000 k's roughly, and we've done that 13 times from Melbourne. We've circumnavigated Australia. We've done New Zealand. We've done Indonesia. Plenty of Tassie. So yeah, we've spent a fair bit of time. Obviously, running around the sticks on a Wednesday night. I don't think you would classify me as being a hyper-competitive yachtsman. Obviously, when you've got two yachts close to each other, they're always going to have a crack. But at the end of the day, it's more about just being out there and enjoying ourselves.
Exactly, that's what it's all about. So Tom Eamon is the producer and owner of this show. He's the host, and he's been to the Hamilton Island Race Week. I've actually seen him there, and he's a man of the world. And he's got mates all around the world with Sailing Illustrated. So as a sailor, you need to tune into this show. It's the only live sailing chat blog show about all things to do with sailing, I think, in the world.
Oh, cool. Well, first time I've heard of it, so I absolutely will tune in. I was just going to say too, and I don't know whether you've shared this before, but we are in Victoria. We actually have the oldest yacht clubs in Australia. The two oldest yacht clubs. One is Williamstown, which is our hometown, and one is Geelong. And there's a race called the Passage Race that goes from Williamstown to Geelong, and it's generally on Australia Day. That is the oldest continuous yacht race in the world, and it's also the biggest regatta in the Southern Hemisphere. And we've done that event, I reckon, 30 times, and in our old Norseman 447, a good old wind spirit, handicap was on our side, definitely, but we've won that passage race 7 times. So
well done.
We are a little bit competitive when we want to be.
Good on you, Scott. Well, that's a good note to finish on. That's all we've got time for today. Cheers to everybody from the Melbourne Boat Show here in fantastic Melbourne, and pleasure to have you on the show, Scott.
Good on you, Al.
See you on the start line somewhere or the finish line or wherever.
Wherever it is, absolutely. Thanks.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers.
Bye.
He gets interesting characters.
He does.
He knows exactly who the cool guys are and gals, and he manages to bring them in, and they're just sitting back there, kind of, the camera's there, they turn it on, and away he goes.
Yes.
And as I said, that was part one. We actually, then they got off the air and said, I want to talk to you about the America's Cup, and he turned the camera back on, and that's what I aired on Tuesday, because that was that America's Cup show, ostensibly, more about the America's Cup. Okay, Julia, Alistair Murray. Now, also in follow-up to Tuesday, when he made fun of my pronunciation, our pronunciation, of Kookaburra.
Yeah.
It still sounds like Kookaburra when they say it in Oz.
Kookaburra.
But not Kook. Cook. Kookaburra.
Yeah.
And, of course, that was 1, 2, and 3 were the Royal Perth Yacht Club, it was one of the defense candidates. And that was ultimately the defender, and that's a great picture by Gilles Martin Raget from the 87 Cup, the defense, the finals, the match between Kookaburra, and did I say it right? Kookaburra and Kookaburra 3, of course, and Stars and Stripes. Now, we also talked about the bird, and then, of course, this is the famous laughing Kookaburra. I'm trying to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
This one from Hobart, Tasmania, apparently. So guess who sends us a video of a real laughing Kookaburra?
Oh, good.
none other than Peter Stevenson.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know who the guy is that got the bird singing, but I thought that was, what's it say, reptile something zoo?
Yeah.
Reptile Zoo, where is that? You Aussies will know where that is. That came from Pedro.
That's good.
Mary Longpre's headed down there. I'll be down in Geelong again in January 26th for Festival of Sail. Been there 7 times before. A great, wonderful week of racing. Mary, of course, is a fellow Balboa Yacht Club member, superb photographer, and a lady of the world. She moves around. Nice video, it really is. Gosh, that is our AAAA 2 in a week, Julia.
That's great.
Tuesday and Friday, thanks to Alistair Murray and his awesome Aussie anecdote. Warren Schasser says they have a family of up to 7 kookaburras, kookaburras that they feed daily.
The first house that we rented in Australia for the Australian American Cup,
the 6 meter,
the 6 meters, was a house with 4 kookaburras and living there.
Did you feed them?
Well, of course. they like meat.
You have so amazing. They like meat. That's right. Didn't we learn that on the show on Tuesday when we played the great AAA as usual? Thanks, Alistair Ryman. You can see Ryman saying here on the comments. Okay. Julia, we're to the last leg. With 15 minutes to go here, we should play the last leg. It's a little more extensive last leg than usual. I think you'll enjoy this one. And the painting, of course, the last leg to Gloucester from 1982. And this race starts on, I teased this at the top of the show, it starts on Sunday, and we've been covering this race. I think we've covered it. It's a quadrennial race every 4 years, and we've covered it before. And this is the departure on Sunday, the 26th of October, from Le Havre. Destination Martinique. The race used to go to Brazil, and this, of course, is the coffee run, I should say, not to confuse it with the Route de Rhum, but the coffee race from Europe down. The old tall ships used to go down there, collect the coffee, and then take them back to Europe, to France. So that was, and now they're singing the song. We learned the Kookaburra song at school in the UK. Kookaburra sitting in a light. We learned it too. Old gum tree, Mary, Mary. Something, laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra. That's how gay your life must be. Was that it? Something like that. Okay, I apologize.
No.
So this race is going on starting on Sunday, and it used to be called the Transat Jacques Vabre after the coffee company. Now it's after another coffee brand. It turns out, after a little research and a little help from one of our foes, it's the same company. So they've just switched brands. Transat Café L'Or, what's that mean? The gold, right, in French?
Yep.
Is that what that means?
Yes.
Is a yachting race that follows the historic coffee trading route between France and Brazil. It is named after and sponsored by a French brand of coffee. And it started in 93, double-handed offshore race. It includes 4 classes, Class 40, the Imoca 60s, the multi-hull 50s, and the ill teams, the big tries, and those are double-handed.
Oh.
It's a double-handed race. Starts at Le Havre, and the finish, it says various because it has been, but we'll start on Sunday and then finish for the 3rd time in Martinique. Remember that song?
Yes.
We sailed the Sunfish Worlds there one time. Now, the classes follow different courses, so they, in theory, get to Martinique at more or less the same time. Not quite. They all start together Sunday. And the old teams go down well south because they're the biggest, fastest boats. Then the Ocean 50s. Then the red line is for the Imocas. And then the Class 40s go more or less direct from Le Havre to Martinique. Now, I did the research just so you would know, because this is the coffee show with a sailing habit.
Yes.
We all love our coffee, right, Julia?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
So Jacques, you want to do that again? I cut away from you.
Yeah.
Jacques Vabre, which was the sponsor, has given way now to coffee, Chateau Blend, medium roast. That's one of their, obviously, varietals. You say that for wine or coffee as well as wine. For this Café L'Or of gold. And it turns out that they're both part of the JDE Peet's company.
Oh, good.
So we have to stop going to Starbucks and start going to Peet's because we like to support. I like to support sponsors.
I've never been to a Starbucks.
You haven't?
No, and on purpose.
Why?
Because they took away all our nice little coffee
shops.
Yeah.
Well, I still go to the independent coffee, the roastery on Chestnut Street. I was there with the Sangmeister family not too long ago.
Yes. Well, I go to Peet's or
but not Starbucks. No. Well, this is part of the Starbucks family. Peet's Coffee and L'Or Coffee are both part of JDE Peet's family, the world's largest pure play. There must be larger companies that own a bunch of coffee brands. But Pure Play Coffee and Tea Company, they qualified that. To better serve our U.S. customers, we're simplifying how you shop for your favorite L'Or coffee and espresso cap. These espresso capsules are compatible with Nespresso machines. So all of us that bought, or were given, in my case, I was given one, bought two, Nespresso machines during their sponsorship of the America's Cup. This brand's capsules will fit.
Perfect.
At least the original capsules. So, you got to find these things out. And I thank Matt Suzuki. You must know Matt he was here at St. Francis for a number of years, now living in France. So that's part one of this segment here in the last leg and about this race. But there is a new entrant, a new lady. We've heard her name before when we covered the Round the World race, and her name is Francesca Klapsic.
Yes.
She's Italian. And it says FRA. Well, it should say also USA in that lower third because she's living, believe it or not, in Park City, Utah with her wife. She lives in Utah. She's a hell of a good sailor, born in Trieste in Italy, obviously, and is a professional sailor with world, European, and national championship titles to her name. She's the only Italian to win the ocean race. She won last time with Charlie Enright and co.
Oh, yeah.
The Round the World Yacht Race. She has competed twice at the Olympic Games. First time in the 2012 Summer Olympics, competing in the women's laser radial class, finishing 19th. At the 2016 Olympics, she competed in the women's 49er FX with Giulia Conti, finishing in 5th place.
Good for her.
So exactly, good for her. In 2022-23, she was a crew member aboard Charlie Enright's 11th Hour Racing. In the ocean race, the overall winners. In January of 2024, it was announced that Francesca would be powered by 11th Hour Racing as a sponsored athlete to join its global initiatives for a more inclusive and sustainable future. 11th Hour Racing will power Klapsic to further advance her efforts in cultivating a safe, diverse, and equitable environment within the sailing industry. She has apparently purchased the boat, the 11th Hour Racing boat. She will be sailing it with another that's double-handed in this race starting on Sunday, and she's getting a fair bit of ink here in the U.S., including in her now home state of Utah.
Oh, good.
Woman set to become the first American woman in history to take on the famous transatlantic sailboat race. Now on October 26th, two-time Olympian Francesca Klapsic, will take on the rigorous race, which starts in France and ends all the way in the Caribbean. Now, this race is not for the faint of heart, as Klapsic and her teammate will have to sail 24/7, each taking turns navigating the boat every 3 hours. Now, she tells us that the route they're following is one that holds great historical significance.
It was the old, it's the route of the coffee, basically. So if you go really back in time in the historic time of ships and maritime industry, the route followed the route that they were doing to bring the coffee back from the Caribbeans. And it's quite of a high performance race, but at the same time an adventure.
Okay, that I didn't cut that off. That's the way that video ended. But when you're getting mainstream coverage on that's the local ABC station in, I guess, Salt Lake City in Utah. And for those of you who don't know Park City, it's a big skiing resort. It's almost a mecca of skiing in this country, a great resort, as is a good bit of Utah there in the Rockies. And then I have another video of her leading up to this race from just a couple days ago.
The Transat Café Lord, it's one of the historic transatlantic races in the offshore world. Actually, will be my first one, so I'm a rookie in this race. The race starts in Le Havre, in the north of France, and then the route will take us through the English Channel, down south to the Canary Island. You leave the Canary Island and you basically race across the Atlantic, reach Martinique as soon as possible. But of course the competition is really high level, and sometimes we saw how the start in the English Channel can be pretty brutal. But then it's always interesting when you get in the trade winds and really trying to push the boat. And again, when you arrive close to Fort-de-France in Martinique, it's again a pretty tricky place where you can get a big reset and a start and stop. Like being part of a Transat Café d'Or, it's really exciting. You know, I never done it before. There is only few races that you want to put in your bucket, and the Transat Café d'Or is one of them. For me, it's also a big milestone because it's going to be the first race with my own project, with my own sponsor, my own boat. So I feel overall for me, it's like the first really big step into qualifying for the Vendée Globe in a few years.
So this gal looks a very attractive personality.
Yes.
And we're going to be following her. I think we should, don't you?
Yes.
And Italian,
Yes.
who's living in France, and her home base now is Park City in Utah in the USA. So really good stuff. Man, a lot of talk about coffee. This race has brought up. Andrew Davola, Dali Davola, is saying coffee from a capsule machine is nearly as bad as American drip coffee.
Yes.
He's right.
He is right.
Sadly, he's right. But you know, if you do coffee the way I do it here for us,
for you,
well, you drink it too.
I do.
Our iced vanilla latte.
Yes.
That we drink and sometimes we put some of Clayton Embly's bourbon in it.
Yes.
Bourbon cream. Iced vanilla. If you come to the Beach Street Yacht Club, we'll serve you an iced vanilla latte, Dali Davola, next time you're in San Francisco. But this gal, Francesca, let's follow her because I think she seems like quite an attractive personality, and obviously a good sailor, and is presumably trilingual.
Yes.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
And I think she is therefore worth following on this race, shall we?
Good idea.
Claire Harrington is saying Francesca is a very capable, talented, and impressive person. Sounds like Claire knows her.
Yes, that's
okay, good. Now, speaking, just to wrap up on this race, it's calm today in the race village. That's they've got a bunch of boats in those 4 classes ready to start on Sunday, and they're doing all the usual. But man, yesterday they had a big storm through there. Storm Benjamin, it was called, and that is a photo that Andrew Pindar, who is there, our Super Fozy Andrew Pindar, took that photo, and it was getting a lot of ink throughout Europe. This horrible storm as it hit the coast, particularly up there in Normandy. Storm Benjamin Wednesday and Thursday inundated that part of France. And thank you, Andrew, for that photo.
It's a great photo.
And here I found a Weather Channel video about this.
Daring videographers faced the violent gusts of Storm Benjamin head-on in France on October 23rd. The intense winds along the Atlantic and English Channel coasts reached over 100 kilometers per hour, breaking October wind records in several municipalities. The whole of France was put on either a yellow or orange alert due to the powerful storm. In Normandy, a gust of more than 160 kilometers per hour was measured, which is equivalent to Category 2 hurricane winds. Local media reported that over 100,000 homes have been left without power due to trees or branches falling on power lines. Heavy rains and waves of 4 to 6 meters were also expected on the country's coasts.
Okay, so a little wind, thanks to the Weather Network for that. But that's why 4 years ago, it looked like this at the start. And it's why Francesca said, you know, it can be really rough there.
Yeah.
Taking off and get until they get out of the North Atlantic, get down to the trades in warmer weather and nicer conditions. But the forecast, in fact, for Sunday's start that I looked up, winds west-northwest at 15 to 25. So if it's closer to 25, they're going to have some interesting conditions at the start of that race. Looks like a little rainy, partly sunny, maybe a little rainy as well. Sometimes you just have to hunker down and take it like a jackass in a hailstorm. The words of one of our more pithy.
Yes.
Texas, in fact. He was from Texas. Texas Presidents Lyndon Baines Johnson, Julia. Okay, that gets us to Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, your favorite gentleman. These are all clean today, Julia. You'll be pleased to hear it. And like we start the show with the Sydney Opera House, we end the show with the Sydney Opera House, thanks to Alistair. Turns out the Sydney Opera House got its inspiration from nothing but a dish rack, after all. It's not sailing, it's not sails, it's not spinnakers, it's not billowing sails, it's a dish rack. Alistair Murray. And he sent this one along as well. You know you're not supposed to applaud until the aria is complete. Sorry, it was a collapse in judgment.
Oh, yes.
That's for you, Claire Harrington. My late great mother would love something like that. That's Crutonic, a collapse in judgment. But nonetheless,
yes.
Opera. I did enjoy it, but I would prefer it without the singing.
Yes.
Leslie, my wife and I were at a wedding in Czechoslovakia, in the Czech Republic. I think it was by then the Czech Republic. And we were in a wedding out in Brno, and they took us to an opera in the famous opera house in Prague as part of this whole weekend.
Yes.
So now we're watching an opera, which was bad enough, in a Czech opera house, but they had English subtitles below on the on the streamer on what do you call that, the scroll below on the foot of the stage, I guess you would say. It was the most enjoyable opera I've ever been to because I could understand what the hell was going on by reading the English scroll.
You must visit the San Francisco Opera sometime.
Do they have a scroll? Oh, they do. Oh, man. Ballet I can tolerate because there's some action, there's some motion, and orchestral music.
Yes.
And not the singing. Okay, Claire, we should dedicate that to Claire Harrington, but that also from Alistair Murray. Now, this one, Julia, is on the edge. And since it came from Mr. Dr. Andrew McIrvin, he noted the name of the church, the Crystal Meth Church. And then look at the town in South Carolina, effing South Carolina. This is not a joke. This is I looked it up. This is really a place, the Crystal Meth Church in effing South Carolina, where they say adultery is a sin. You can't have your Kate and Edith too.
Oh, my. Oh.
Andrew McIrvin, of all people.
Of all people.
Where he got that one. And then finally, this from William Haynes. Bill Haynes sent this from North Texas. He said, this is boat yoga, the practice of fixing things you can't reach while swearing.
That's lovely. It's a great picture. Huh? It's a great picture.
And if that ain't the truth.
You bet.
We have that, by the way, here in Studio B, too. And I have to get down on my aging hands and knees and do something on the floor of the studio.
Yes.
That's the way I feel, Bill Haynes, when I come out of it. And, of course, Blake Middleton, all the smartest people sail. Blake, we appreciate that very much. Ted Ryman says, thanks to my mom, I quite like the opera. Clark Chapin, of course, there's always the opera scene from Pretty Woman. Yes, okay. And apparently they've got the crawl. I mix those words, scroll and crawl, apparently at the Metropolitan Opera, too. It's got to be a great feature. Julia, we're to the finish line, and the winners of the week, Australian sailing team, anybody that gets somebody as good a sailor as Matt coming back into the fold, and he will be a coach and a leader and an inspiration for everybody else on the team to get him to come back for Matt Weirin for his third go. Bravo Zulu to him, and I therefore make the Australian sailing team and Australian sailing the winners of the week.
How nice.
Do you agree?
Yes, of course.
Bill Haynes saying, glad I can contribute to the show in a small way. Well, you did, but Bravo Zulu, again, canny three-peat, born in 95, now only age 30. And I saw a note from, I think, John Emmett saying that at age 19 was when Ben Ainsley won his first silver medal. Did you see that in the comments? So 19, 25, 29 would have been his first three medals. 1923, and age 27 would have been Sir Ben's first three medals. And Matt is already 30. So he's working on his third medal when he will be, it'll be 28, so 3 years hence. Be 3 years hence, so it could be 33. So he's ahead in theory, at least in the medals, because he's on 2 golds, whereas Sir Ben, after his first 2 were gold and silver and gold. But Ben was ahead of him age-wise. Don Lunabos, thank you. Dolly DeVola, Malcolm Page, and Olivia Price now on the board. Yes, I saw that. I heard from Christiane Price earlier this week that her daughter and our Fozy, Olivia the Divia, is on the board. Congratulations to her. And another reason for making Australian sailing winners of the week. They got a great CEO, and they've got some good young members, and a Fozy now on the board of Australian sailing. Olivia Price.
Yeah, which board? Yeah.
Of Australian sailing. Well done, Aussies. Winners of the week in my book. You agree with that, Julia?
Oh, yes.
Good call. Julia, you like to say?
Yes. Don't lose the opportunity to like, follow, and share, because they all make us look good.
Hamish is asking, question of the week, what sailor has the most Olympic medals? That must be a trick question, because it must be somebody, probably the Kiwi rower, who is a sailor and sailed with Team New Zealand and has won more Olympic medals as a rower or as a something. Is that right, Hamish? Is it Malcolm Page? Tom Pace, who was at Stag Cruises. I'm sorry I missed you there. I didn't go to Stag Cruises this year, Commodore Pace.
Mal
Page, is he the winner of the most medals? I think it's a trick question from Hamish Ross. Tom and Julia, thank you for a great show. I always learn something completely useless.
Yes.
Steve Gruber's asking or guessing Torben Grail. I guess he's guessing. Anybody else? Hamish, tell us the answer before we sign off here. He carefully worded that as a lawyer would. What sailor has the most Olympic medals? Maybe he's not going to tell us, and we're going to put it in Tuesday's show. Save that thought, Hamish. We'll put it on Tuesday's show. How's that? I'm going to take that away. So, Hamish, don't put it in the comments if he already has and they're coming through. But Julia said comments are welcome, or I say comments are welcome in replay, as always. And we want to thank everybody who gives us a few bucks a month to keep us on the air. Patreon.com/join/Sailing Illustrated. We're now starting to get some money from Facebook and YouTube for being monetized, because we now have the requisite number of, as John has said, as you have said, the number of viewers, the number of likes, the number of so on. Now, I think the check is coming for $17.26.
Every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. It won't buy any major equipment like the Claire Harrington monitor right here that she bought for us, or some of the other stuff. Hamish says Tuesday. Bobby Steele says Alstrom. Ken DeVerne says Alstrom. I don't think it is Alstrom. I think that
he might have more sailing medals.
Well, did he win other medals? I think the way Hamish worded that, it must be a sailor who also won medals in another sport. Who knows? Patreon.com/join/Sailing Illustrated to help keep us on the air with our equipment costs and our streaming fees. We appreciate very much your concerted support. We also appreciate those who gave us audio, video, and images for today's show, including all of those outlets and people.
Yes.
Julia, final thought.
I get more and more amazed by our Fozy.
They're a bright group.
Yeah. I'd love to know all of them.
Well, we know them at least virtually.
Yes, we do.
And I feel, even those I've never met, I feel like I know them like a brother or a sister.
Yeah. I surely include them in my family.
Well, indeed. Okay, a bunch of people can't seem to spell Elstrom. Just saying, Ainsley has the most sailing medals, but a good puzzle, good question. We'll answer that for you on Tuesday. In the meantime, have a great weekend wherever in the world you are. Hope to see you on Tuesday, same time, same channel. And in the meantime, sail fast, sail safe, and have fun. Ciao for now. You see that Ryman said in the chat, Family Illustrated. That's right. That's it. We'll change the name, the Family Illustrated. Thanks, Ted.